I believe she gonna think I'm being sarcastic. I believe she gonna think I'm being sarcastic. Alright.
It's like before I put this in the freezer, sis.
Yeah. Stop throwing them toys. Don't drop them like that.
I got this last one. Young question.
I'm trying to get everything pulled up on my end.
You gotta take turns.
Think that smell like, you know what I mean?
You gotta take turns. Yes, take turns. Quit all stop. I'm getting that milk. Take turns. Go that way. You're shy. Go that way. Go play. Go. Go. You shy. Go. That way. Yeah, well.
She said she is. Huh?
Okay. And,
Are we live?
good.
No sweat.
She said you did sarcastic on.
No. Nah, she didn't even get that vibe. Alright, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakatah, all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Thaba Shem Yahweh Shad, all the sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. What we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, according to the Bible, according to archaeology, according to all the scholars that we have to pull out because people don't want to listen to the Bible. You understand? So, we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. If it is not of the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, it is not of the Most High, and they are not authorized by the Most High to teach this Bible. You know what I'm saying? That includes your Christian pastor. That includes the Pope. You understand? If you're not learning it under the helm of the ISUPK, then what you're being taught is a lie. You understand? And you know what I'm saying? The topic of today's class is we're going to talk about, I'm going to prove to you in the Bible that God's laws are not done away with. You understand? One of the lies that's constantly being pushed by the Christian church is that God's laws are the Old Testament or they don't apply today. You understand? And that is false. You understand? That's a false teaching. That's a lie that's being taught in the earth that God's laws do not apply today. You understand? And it's that exact thinking that has caused so many black people to unfortunately and unexpectedly pass away from what's known as the COVID-19 or coronavirus. You understand? And it's because that we have allowed ourselves to be so heavily ingrained in this society that we've joined all the other nations, and we parlay with all the other nations, and the Most High never intended for that to be. You understand? I mean, you gotta think about it. You know, if you got anything, black folk love jewelry. I ain't want no jewelry in a minute, but you know, black folk, we love our jewelry. You understand? You don't have your nice expensive jewelry in the toy box with the kids' play toys, do you? You understand? Because what happens when you do that? Your jewelry get broken up all into pieces. You know what I mean? It tarnished, stones fall out. You understand? It break apart and get destroyed. You understand? And that's what's happened to black people in America. You understand? We've joined these other nations. You understand? And as a result of it, we've gotten destroyed. You understand? And not only that, but you know, we listen. We like to listen to things that sound good because we want to be able to follow after our lust and feel like everything gonna be okay because of it. Right. You understand? We want to be able to smoke that crack rock and think that we still gonna die and go to heaven. You understand? We want to still be able to go sleep with $2 prostitutes and think that we gonna die and have a die and live in the sky, or like Tupac said, one if heaven got a ghetto. You understand? We want to go out here and do these things and think that God gonna still love us and accept us when the very sins that we commit are the reasons why we're dying at such a high rate. You understand? We number one in heart disease, number one in diabetes, number one in COVID-19. You understand? Number one in HIV. We number one across the board.
Right.
You understand? Number one in suicide. Number one in drug addiction. You understand? So, number one in prison rate. You understand? We're being punished by the Most High when we sin against the Lord. So you got to think about it. Whether you agree with what we teaching or not, you understand? Black people are still dying of diabetes. Whether you agree with what we teaching or not, black people are still dying of COVID-19. You understand? So if you want to stop yourself from traveling down the pathway of dying of lung cancer, of dying of diabetes, of dying of a heart attack, of dying of gunshots, dying of gang violence, you understand? Dying of all the things that plague black people, then it begins with ignoring the lies that are being taught by this Christian church. You understand? And before we get too deep into it, does anyone have any? Matter of fact, make sure everybody make sure that you do this whenever you watch the class. You understand? If you support this truth, if you support the ISUPK and what we teaching, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. You understand? Make sure you hit the like button. Give us a thumbs up, because you understand those things help the ISUPK to be able to further get this message out to our people. You understand? So if you want to help the truth, just like the video. Like all the videos. Every time you see an ISUPK video, if you haven't liked it, like the video. You understand? Subscribe to the channels. You understand? We're giving out this knowledge every day, all across the globe. You understand? Support this truth, man. You understand? And pay tithes.
Damn
That's a
right.
commandment. That's a law in the Bible. You understand? And guess what? That's another thing about the hypocrisy of the Christian church. The hypocrisy of the Christian church, Barn, they tell you you can eat you a pork chop and shrimp sandwich. but you got to pay your tithes.
Good night.
You understand? Go ahead,
Slugs, I was just thinking about that. Me and Officer Mara Dockett some time back, probably like a month ago, we went to go eat at an all-you-can-eat buffet. And Pastor and his wife walked in, and the first thing they both went to was the fried pork chop.
Goodness gracious. Man, I don't know what black folk love them pork chops. Love them pork chops. Sister posted something, I love seeing, when sisters be cooking on Facebook, they love to put their plates of food up, how they showing out in the kitchen. And sister posted on Facebook, had the pork chops and had the broccoli with shrimp in it. I'm like, what in the hell is this? You understand? Like, you know what I mean? I don't even want to comment on that. I'm just going to let that be. Just let her go ahead and do it, because Christians gonna do it anyway.
Right.
You understand? You can show Christians in the Bible that eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster is unlawful. You understand? We just went through a whole 2 classes prior, last week and the week before, about clean and unclean foods. You understand? And what black people would need to understand is that these laws, they still apply to today. You understand? They still apply. You understand? Why is it that black people are dying at such a high rate of COVID-19?
Right.
It's a simple answer. The simple answer is because these laws, we are God's chosen people, and these laws still apply to this day.
Damn right.
You understand? And here's the crazy part, okay? So, think about this, right? Think about this. Before you go out and say that UPK teach hate, think about this for a second, right? If you beefing with somebody, right? And I know I'm supposed to be your friend. And you beefing with somebody, and I know the person that's beefing with you is waiting around the corner for you to get around that corner so he can blow your brains out. I know he's waiting there. He told me he was right there. You understand? If I know that he's waiting around that corner to kill you, and I'm supposed to be your friend, and I tell you, make sure you go around that corner. You go ahead around that corner, man, because it's a blessing waiting on you. You understand? Would you consider to me someone who loves you or someone who hates you? Go ahead, Amar.
I think that you hate me.
Exactly. You understand? Because if you love him, you'll be like, hey, man, don't go around that corner, man. It's a man waiting around there with a gun to shoot you right in the head. Don't go around that corner, man. Go that way. You understand? But that's someone that love you. Now, is you going to look at that person and be like, man, you teaching hate. Don't tell me what to do. I'm going to live my life. All right, no sweat. And then you walk around that corner and get your brains blowed out. You understand? You ignore the brother. That's Christians every day. You ignore the brother that's warning you about the man around the corner with the gun. And tell us to mind our business and get a job. You understand? And then you go and listen to the man that say, go on around that corner, man. It's a blessing waiting on you. And you get around that corner and you're getting your brains blowed out. And that's black people right now, getting their brains blowed out because the Christian church ain't been doing nothing but lying to us for 500 years. You understand? For 500 years, man. When did slavery end, Bar?
They say it was abolished in 18. I'm looking it up. I know it was
1865. It was 1865. That's when slavery was abolished, right? So that's how long? What's that? It's a 2020.
I'm gonna get the math for you right now.
Let's do that mathematics. What's that? 35, 20, 55 years, 155 years?
2020, and you said it was 1865.
1865.
Yeah, 155 years.
155 years. Right. So we've been listening to the Christian church for 155 years. And we still dying of COVID-19 at a higher rate than any other group of people on the planet. We still filling up the goddamn prisons. We still addicted to crack, heroin, cocaine, marijuana, cigarettes. We still on child support, aborting babies. 450,000 babies a year get aborted by the black community. You understand? And you got disgusting Christian pastors that is upset because the government stopped abortions in the midst of the COVID-19 outbreak. You understand? The Christian church is the house of Satan, man.
Damn right.
You understand? And this is the Holy Bible, right? This is the Holy Bible. This is what's supposed to be taught in every Christian church in America. You understand? Oh, am I lying? Am I making something up? Like, do they teach out the Quran in the Christian church? Do they teach out the Dr. Seuss books in the Christian church? They teach out the Holy Bible in the Christian church. You understand? So we gonna read. It popping up on the thing.
It's the wild.
It's too wild now. Can you? All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Microphone check 1, 2, 1, 2. Microphone check 1, 2, 1, 2. Somebody knocking on the door. Still can't hear. No sound. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Shalom.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, so we got sound. We got sound on YouTube. What about Facebook? Facebook, we got sound.
They said we too wild now, bro.
All right, Most High in Christ. So nothing that I said Got hurt apparently. No sweat. All right. So we'll just take it from the top. Shalom. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, where we teach that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel according to the Bible, according to history, according to archaeology. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If it is not of the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, then they are not in the truth, and they are not authorized to teach this Bible. You understand? If you are not learning the Bible from a priest in the ISUPK, then you are learning some mumbo jumbo. You understand? You learn some mumbo jumbo that you need to get out of ASAP, run, and come into the UPK. You understand? All right, so I asked earlier, I guess y'all didn't hear me when I asked, the topic of today's class is proving that the Christian church is lying when they say that God's laws are done away with. You understand? God's laws are not done away with. And we're going to show you that proof in the Bible. You understand? So, real quick, does anyone have any questions? Just go ahead and type them in. I'll give you a minute to get your questions in. I know y'all asked a lot of questions last week, and that's to wow. Ask all the questions that you got. You understand? And if you got any questions, go ahead and type them in. You understand? Any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. All right, Abon, in the meantime, I want you to go to Matthew chapter 5 for me, bro. Matthew 5 and 17.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Think not that I come to destroy the law.
What does it mean to think not? Think not. What does that mean? You understand? That means don't even think about it. Don't even put it inside your mind. You understand? Don't even let it, you know how you get the pop-ups on your computers? That should not be a pop-up in your brain. You understand? Don't get it. Basically, it's like saying don't get it twisted. You understand? Don't think this. You understand? To think, in other words, the contrary of what he's saying is that to think what he's about to say is wrong. You see what I'm saying? So he's saying, think not that I come to destroy the law. You understand? He says, think not that I come to destroy the law. So the Christian church, what is the thing that they hang everything they teach in the Christian church? That the laws are done away with.
That's right.
That God's laws no longer matter. You understand? Like it's like and think about it like this, right? This is how sick and disgusting it is, and how black people should not listen to these forms of teaching. Even in America, right? One of the biggest fears that our oppressors have is for the U.S. Constitution to be dismantled.
That's right.
That is a fear amongst our oppressors. You understand? They feel like if their constitution is destroyed, demolished, and wiped out, and shredded, and no longer of any type of importance, then they fear that is the end of their power on the earth.
Right.
You understand? So think about it like this. The Constitution is what? Is the laws of America.
That's right.
You understand? The founding document of the entire empire that all the people live by in this empire. And if that document was to be destroyed or demolished or abolished, then the United States as an empire or as a corporation no longer exists.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? They have no economic authority at that point. You understand? So that is a fear. That's like an end of days. That's the apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? They believe that is the black man. The laws of the Bible, that is your constitution.
That's right.
That is how we supposed to live. Those are the laws that we are supposed to live by and abide by. In our culture, guess what? It is illegal to eat pork.
Right.
In our culture, it is illegal to sleep with white women.
Damn right.
In our culture, it is illegal to be a homosexual. It's illegal to sleep with your brother's woman. You understand? But in America, it ain't illegal to sleep with your brother's woman. It ain't illegal hell, it damn near ain't illegal to molest children. You understand? Because they don't prosecute most of the child molesters.
Damn right.
You understand? Like a lot of child molesters now are getting probation even before the coronavirus. A lot of child molesters were getting probation. You understand? They was getting probation. Right back out on the go to jail for 30 days and go to court. You understand? Get probation and be back out on the street molesting kids again.
So like if I could, not to mention all of the Catholic priests and people working in Catholic churches who still haven't been prosecuted for it, and they've been outed as sexual molesters.
Come on,
as
man.
molesters.
Right.
And that's real heavy what the other one's bringing out. You understand? It's so many. What happens in the Catholic Church, right? The Catholic Church, they got churches all over the world. They got churches in Argentina, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Mexico, China, Rome, Italy, UK, all over the globe. They got they got Catholic churches, right? Being a Catholic priest, if you molest kids in Greenville, South Carolina, for 20 years, then all of a sudden people get tired of you molesting them and be like, man, he a child molester. We need to get him up out of here. You know what the Christian church, the Catholic Church would do? Instead of prosecuting that person or having charges brought up on that person, they would transfer him to somewhere else.
Good night.
You understand? Be like, don't be molesting kids.
Just wicked.
So we're gonna transfer you to California, get you away from all these kids that you've been molesting. You understand? Matter of fact, we're gonna send you down to Brazil.
Good night. Oh man.
We're gonna send you to Puerto Rico.
Good night.
All right. Don't be molesting no kids now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do for 20, 40, 50 years and become old, decrepit white men. You understand? And die of old age. You understand? Being Catholic priests their whole life. You understand? Claiming, and they say to be a Catholic priest, you're supposed to be abstinent. Not abstinent. What's the term? Celibate.
Good.
You're supposed to be celibate to be a priest, a Catholic priest. Go ahead.
It's like, until it comes to the little boys.
Yeah, till it comes to little boys, and little girls on occasion. They favor the boys. You understand?
Yeah, right.
But, you understand? But what does the Catholic Church teach? They also teach that the laws are done away with. You understand? But we reading, what book we reading out of, and what book are we reading? Go ahead, Doc.
It's like, so this is the New Testament, the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17.
And what book?
And the New Testament.
I mean, what's the overall book called?
The Bible.
This is the Bible.
Damn right.
You understand? We're reading out of the Bible.
Right.
You understand? The same Bible that your Catholic priests be reading out of. And they tell you that God's laws are done away with, right? And what part of the Bible are we reading?
The New Testament.
And we're reading out of the New Testament. I purposely did not start in the Old Testament for a reason. You understand? I started in the place where they say it got destroyed at.
Right, damn right.
Oh, we in the New Testament now. You know what they say all the time? What the Christians say all the time? The new Christ did it. Christ nailed it to the cross. What color is the words that we read?
Red, I don't know.
Who words is in red in the Bible? Matter of fact, let's let the chat answer that question. Whose words are in red in the Bible? Someone answer for me. Someone give me that answer. I need to know. Whose words are written in red? Who done it? Who said it? I need to know who is talking in this scripture that we reading. Matthew 5:17. Who is speaking? Should be an easy one.
Slacking, sir. Bree Thomas, she typed in and she said Yahweh.
Get this sister a hand. You understand? Bree Thompson is right. Thomas, Salakia. Bree Thomas is right. You understand? That's Yahweh. You understand? Who the world calls Jesus Christ. You understand? So who is Salakia, sister Yahweh, not Bree Thomas. You understand? That sister has gotten her Hebrew name, and her name is Yahweh Salakia, sis. You understand? We all messed that up. Well, at least me and a bond did. Salakia. Her name is Yahweh Salakia. All right. So you know, the sister's correct. These is Yahushua words. You understand? And he's the one, if anybody can answer the question, you know, Yahushua, did you do away with the laws or not? It'll be him, right?
Right.
Straight from the horse's mouth. Read that scripture again.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not.
Said, think not. He said, think not. Don't even get it in your mind. Don't even let this be a thought.
Right.
You know, that's like some of the things I tell my ribs. Don't even think not. Don't even let that get in your brain. Go ahead.
That I come to destroy the law.
What does it mean to destroy the law? To say the law is done away with. Oh, that's the Old Testament. We going by the New Testament. God is love. You understand? God loves everybody.
That's right.
You understand? That's what it means to say that the law, that he came to destroy the law. He didn't come to destroy the law. That's like Alex Jones coming to destroy the Constitution. He ain't come to destroy the Constitution. He came to fulfill the Constitution.
That's right.
You understand? Because he is an American, a proud American. You understand?
Good.
And guess what? Yahushua was an Israelite.
That's right.
A proud Israelite.
Damn
A
right.
strong Israelite. You understand? And he loved his people. He loved his people so much that he died for them. You think he's gonna destroy everything that, you know, the proof of their existence? You understand? The proof of their authority on this earth? Read on.
I have Salakia. And I come to think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Or the what?
Or the prophets.
Or the what?
Or the prophets.
You understand? Or the prophets. You know what I'm saying? To say the law is done away with, then you just writing off what Moses did. You writing off what Nehemiah did, what Daniel did, Obadiah. The whole Bible, all the stuff that went down. The sister who her 7 sons got deep fried for not eating pork. All of that means nothing if the laws was done away with.
That's right.
That means that them sisters died. That sister and her 7 sons died for no reason.
That's right.
You understand? Think about that. If the laws was done away with, then Yahushua died for no reason.
Right.
You understand? If the laws was done away with, then it was no reason for the Most High to even to deliver us from slavery in ancient Egypt. If the laws was done away with, there was no need for. We should have just stayed slaves in Egypt and stayed on lean and mollies and all that, And Egypt would have been the greatest empire on the history of all humankind and still been ruling the earth today. Still busting us across the head with sand bricks. You understand? Building pyramids on the moon. You understand? We'd have still been doing that. And folks would have been like, the law ain't no law. You understand? We eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster all day, every day, pop mollies and sleep with white women. You understand? And just be slaves. You understand? But the law is what separates us from the other nations. You understand? Because by keeping the law, you do what? You end up separating from these other nations. Because guess what? Our oppressor loved that shrimp and crab and lobster. That's a delicacy to him.
Damn right.
He looks at that. A delicacy in Israel is lamb.
That's right.
Fresh lamb. You understand? Fresh slaughtered lamb. At the Passover, cooked by General Muhammad. That's a delicacy in Israel.
Damn right.
You understand? A good clean meat that ain't got no toxins in it. Ain't no parasites in it. It ain't gonna give you worms. But our oppressor, man, they eating giant rats and calling it bacon.
Good night.
That's basically what a pig is, like a giant rat. That's what they look like. You understand? Read on
But
that.
if I could,
Go ahead,
real quick,
Ron.
the white man so damn profane. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of a type of fish called a puffer fish.
Yes.
Now this fish is extremely poisonous. It's so poisonous that you have to cut it a certain way or prepare it a certain way, because if you don't prepare it right, it'll kill you. Like
Right.
instantly, it'll kill you. And so they eat stuff like that. So it's just ridiculous, man. It's like basically what the brother was just bringing out so heavy. It's just the white man will eat damn near anything.
Anything.
And when we have a dietary law that's just so much better for us, because these are animals that are clean and don't have poisons in them.
Right. Right. See, here's the beauty in the law that the Lord gave us. This is something that I thought about before. But say, for instance, if we was to ever travel to a distant planet somewhere, and you got deer-looking creatures running around, cow-looking creatures running around, six-winged birds flying around, things that we've never seen. They don't look like nothing we ever seen on Earth, right? A whole different species. Knowing the laws of the Bible, we will know on that alien planet what animals are clean to eat and what animals are unclean.
Damn right.
Right.
Damn right.
You understand? Because all we got to do is just think, split the hoop, chew the cud,
You right.
no sweat.
Split the
Fire that
hoop.
bad boy up right there. You understand?
Fire that bad boy up.
Fire that bad boy up. You
I don't know
understand?
what his name is.
We gonna call him dinner. We gonna call this one Bambi. You understand? So Yahushua said he didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. You understand? Now think about your Christian church, right? What's a Christian supposed to be? What do they say a Christian's supposed to be? They say a Christian's supposed to be what? A follower of Christ, right?
That's right.
Are they following what Yahushua just said? Or are they going against what he just said? You understand? Think about that. Is your Christian pastor teaching you the laws of the Bible? Is he teaching you that the laws are done away with? Or is he teaching you to keep the laws of the Bible? Think about that for a second. Because Yahushua said, don't give it do not put it in your mind. If you thinking in your head that God laws do not apply to you, and you are Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, then you are not following the order that Christ gave.
That's right.
This is an order. This ain't a suggestion. If I tell my rib, you better get that out your mind. Don't even think about that. You better not even think about, you know what I'm saying? You better not even think about doing something such and such. Is that a suggestion or is that an order? Is that a recommendation? Abun, is that a recommendation? Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be tripping.
Lies.
It ain't no recommendation. Nah. He said, think not that I come to destroy the laws or the prophets. But what is your pastor doing? He is destroying. He's trying to destroy the laws and the prophets.
Right.
You understand? But guess what? He can't destroy nothing.
Damn right.
Because he too weak and effeminate to even stand before the men of the Lord and try to. Man, listen now. We seen a Christian pastor. I think you would have been with us. Remember that camp when that Christian pastor pulled up in that I think he pulled up in a Maybach in down there in Charleston.
Good night.
You seen that?
Say that again.
A Christian pastor pulled up to the camp spot. Remember we was out there at the park, holding camp at the park.
Barely vague.
The Christian pastor hopped out. He pulled up in a Maybach out, and he hopped out and thought he was just gonna walk up on the camp and shut us down. And it was like, and everybody walked up with the bob in the step, like, yeah, brothers, y'all over here teaching hate. And then he just realized how hardcore he was. He said, I'm gonna go ahead about, you know. And then just turned off, got right back in the car and just left. Hey, y'all remember that?
Lies.
Y'all don't remember that? Oh man, y'all didn't see it. It was a while back. It was like the second time we was out there. It was a tall, skinny brother with a suit on. Y'all don't remember this? Oh man, this brother pulled up in the Maybach.
Was we out there on the same in the hood or?
Yeah, we was in the
It was in
hood.
the hood. I think I kind of remember it.
We was at the park. It was like one of the first or second times we was out there. I think we was passing out food and clothes.
I think it was clothes, and we was giving sandwiches.
Yeah. We was
I
getting
think I remember. It's
Yeah.
vague, but I kind of remember.
It happened like I caught it because I was standing Shamar. And the brother hopped out like he was about to shut us down. And he didn't even come up to the camp. He
Like
just-
somebody called their pastor, say, "Hey, pastor, they out there on the street. Go get them."
yeah, he came up like he about to be the champion of the Christian church. You see how them brothers got it. Like you seen how what's that dude, the Ali Sadiq dude said Mexican got on boots. You ain't seen it?
yeah.
He was like, oh, them brothers got on boots. Oh, nah, I ain't walking over there. They got them boots for stomping mud holes. I ain't getting no mud holes stomping me today. You understand? And that brother did an about face. And turned right back around and got right back in the Maybach and was out of there.
Good night.
You understand? And matter of fact, some of the brothers, and see, this is how the Lord, this is how amazing this truth is. It was brothers sitting over on the porch, and I heard the brothers, and I remember this. I heard the brothers saying, "Oh snap! Oh, here he come now! He come to shut him down, ain't he?" And they was thinking that this Christian pastor was about to walk up, and by the power of the Holy Spirit, shut us down. And this brother tucked tail and about faced it. Listen, this is how quick he turned around. I remember seeing him pull up, hop out of the driver's door, walk across the street, get over to across the side where we was at, close enough to hear him say he said, now listen here, brothers, y'all teaching hate.
Good night.
Enough to hear him say that. Turn to the left just a little bit. To tell the brothers like, okay, you see this brother walking up to the camp. By the time I turn to tell the brother, Salaya, his brother about to walk up, we about to have to do a little battle. By the time I turned back around, he was back in the Maybach closing the door. I'm like, damn, what did he do? Run across the street? It was an old brother, man. I wish I wasn't the only person to remember that.
Well, he was the champion of the Christian.
He was like the champion. He hopped out like the champion of like the heavyweight champion of the Christian church. And he tucked tail and ran. It was like for a second, I guess he thought we was the Purple Cats. You know what I'm saying? He seen, wait a minute now, these brothers right here ain't purple. These brothers, It looked like they built for stomping mud holes. He ain't want no parts. You understand? And he tucked tail and ran. And right after that, all them brothers that was sitting over there on that side of the road, all of them came over and got flyers.
Yeah.
You understand?
I can't remember now.
It was an older brother that came over there. It was a bunch of younger cats that came over there. You know, because them brothers, they was just kind of sitting over there. You know what I'm saying? Just listen, they wasn't really dealing with it. They was over there selling their little dope or whatever. And they wasn't even really, they was listening to us, but they really wasn't interacting with us.
Right.
But once they seen how they seen the Christian pastor when he pulled up. And when they seen how he just tucked tail and ran, all those brothers came over there and got flyers after that. You understand? Because they seen that as these, just because you got the Maybach and the suit and the Gucci hat and sleeping with everybody's wives, and you're supposed to be a holy man of God. You understand? Just because you got all the money and all the power, that don't make you a man of God.
Yeah, right.
You understand? Right. That don't make you a man of God. You understand? Because Yahushua came up against people like that.
That's right.
You understand? Read on now.
Come. I am not come to destroy.
Say he has not come to destroy. So that right there just lets you know, every mission has an objective.
Right.
So he's telling you that his mission was not to destroy the law, right? His mission was not to destroy the prophets. But what was his mission? Read on.
But to fulfill.
But to what?
But to fulfill.
But to what?
But to fulfill.
You understand? His job was to fulfill the law. You understand? To fulfill the law. And guess what? It's our job to fulfill the law.
Damn right.
You understand? It's your job to fulfill the law. You understand? It's everybody's job to fulfill the law. You understand? Read on.
Come. Verse 18. For verily I say unto you.
So this is Christ speaking again. He's still talking. He ain't shut up. He's still talking, man. You understand? He still got more to say on this matter. Read on.
Come. Till heaven and earth pass.
Till what?
Till heaven and earth pass.
Till heaven and earth pass. What does that mean? What does that mean? Till heaven and earth pass. What is that talking about?
Until the heavens and the earth are destroyed, or just not here anymore.
Right. So when it's talking about the heavens, what is that talking about? Good.
Would that be like the most high?
Nope. No. Think about it like this. There's different heavens spoken of in the Bible. Right? So this one is talking about till heaven and earth. Right? So earth, in the context, the earth is talking about is the globe, the planet. The heaven that it's talking about is what you see when you look up. The stars, the moon, the sun, all of that stuff. And the outer space, what the white man call it. He call it outer space. Because he don't know nothing. That's how stupid he is. Everybody like to think he's so intelligent, but he's just dumb as a box of rocks. You understand? He's stupid. Like, he talking about dinosaurs, and this is the thing that blows my mind about our oppressor, man. It's like they just got years of writing the same stuff over and over again, but it don't make it right.
Right.
You understand? They say fossils come from. Now I'm big into science and physics and chemistry, and I love to read all that kind of stuff. So I know a lot about fossils and bones and how those things form and blah 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 blah. So the way the white man breaks it down, he'll say, if it's this far under the ground, it's from this many millions of years old.
Right.
If it's that far under the ground, it's from this many millions of years old.
Right.
But this is the thing. What if it was a flood?
Right.
What? And here's the thing about a flood. This is people don't realize about a flood, right? Anytime you've ever seen a flood on TV, what does it look like? It looked like a big wall full of dirty water flowing across the land.
Right.
And then after the flood is over, what does it look like? It looked like mud covering everywhere. Does it not?
Right.
Everything is buried under mud. Well, imagine if the mud was 3 miles high. You understand? Everything would be buried under the dirt.
Right.
So guess what? It ain't about how old something is as far as how deep it is under the earth. It matters about how heavy it was.
Right.
You understand? Like that's why you got the big whales and the big animals on the bottom, like you know what I mean, and you got the small little microscopic animals at the top.
Right.
You understand? That's why you find the fish bones. You dig 6 feet, you find fish bones. Dig 100 feet, you find a pterodactyl. You understand? Dig another 100 feet, you find a tyrannosaurus. You understand? That's why, because the heavier animals would sink, and the smaller animals would float,
Right.
or the more buoyant. I guess that's a more correct term. The more buoyant animals would be closer to the top. You understand? So, you know, it's a hypothesis. You know what a hypothesis means? Look at the definition of hypothesis for me, Abon. This is what science is in a nutshell. This is what all science is. This is what all science put out by the white man. This is all of his science summed up in one word. Hypothesis. Read the definition of this word.
The definition of hypothesis: a supposition or proposed explanation made on the bias of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation.
It says it is based off of what?
On the bias.
A bias, meaning you already got your mind made up on what you think it is.
Right.
Read on.
Of limited evidence.
Of limited evidence, meaning that there's no evidence proving that the earth is millions of years old. How can you prove something is millions of years? Come on now. Think about it. Like you can't even prove that some of these girls is over the age of 18 without an ID.
That's right.
You understand? Go ahead, huh?
That's a hypothesis right there.
Hey, well, see, hey, let you hypothesize about that. So like it.
Hypothesis did not work for R. Kelly.
So like the brother Thomas Brown said, an educated guess.
An educated guess. Good night. Well, she look. She got them hips like an old 22-year-old. She got them breasts like a 30-year-old. Man, she got to be at least 21. Man, she 15 out. You understand? Go ahead.
R. Kelly was saying it seems like she's ready.
Hey, R. Kelly said she seemed like she's ready.
Seems like she's seen.
Age ain't that. Seems like that's an educated guess. It's a hypothesis. You understand? And see, it's in the ISUPK, we don't go off hypothesis.
That's right.
You understand? We don't hypothesize about what the Bible says.
That's right.
We don't hypothesize about if something is lawful or unlawful.
That's right.
You understand? We go by what the Bible says.
That's right.
And that's it. You understand? We don't hypothesize. You understand? We go by what the Lord says, and that's it.
Right.
He was here. What you gonna listen? What you gonna listen to? So, somebody with a broom and a little tiny hammer, or in the desert digging up old bones in the dirt, or you gonna listen to the ruler of the heavens and the earth?
Right.
I'm gonna listen to the ruler of heaven and earth. You know what I mean?
Right.
The one that can split the Red Sea and swallow up 10,000 people and whole in the earth. I'm gonna listen to him. I'm gonna listen to the one who can release coronavirus on the earth to shut the whole planet down for oppressing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Damn right.
I'm gonna listen to that guy. You know, damn that hypothesis. That hypothesis is why R. Kelly locked up right now.
Damn right.
Because of his hypotheses. You understand? Read on.
Come on.
Move your hand.
Matter of fact, read that scripture again from 18.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
It says till heaven and earth pass, until heaven and earth are destroyed. You understand? That's what it means when it say till heaven and earth pass. Is the earth still standing?
Right.
Are we still on earth or are we on Jupiter? I mean, I could be wrong. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't know everything. You know, are we on Mars? Last I checked, we was on Earth.
Right.
You know, I got the Google Earth app. I ain't got the Google Pluto app. You understand? So it say to heaven and earth pass. Guess what? When I look outside at night, I still see the moon. I mean, what about you? I mean, am I hallucinating? I still see the moon. I mean, you know, I seen the sun today too. You know, maybe you know the flat Earth people think them holograms. So I don't know what they think it is, but you know, but they seem like they there to me. You know what I mean? What about the stars? I mean, those, you know.
You see them at night.
We see those too. All right, just making sure. You know, because I could be wrong. You know, maybe I'm hallucinating. I got astigmatism. You know, I could be tripping. It could be me about to pass out every night. You know, I don't know. You know, maybe that's what they mean when you get hit a little too hard. They say you seeing stars. Maybe I accidentally walking the walls at night. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? But as far as what the brothers tell me, heaven and earth are still here. So they have not passed.
That's right.
They have not been destroyed. You understand? Read on.
Come. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
It says one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. Guess what, Christians? That means it was a sin to eat that Easter ham that you ate on Sunday.
That's right.
That means, and guess what, Christian? That means it was a sin for you to molest your nephew that you molested this week.
Damn right.
And guess what, Christian? That means there is a sin for you just to even think that the laws are done away with.
Damn right.
Because that means that you worshiping a whole nother God because you're not worshiping the God of this Bible.
That's right.
You understand? Read on.
Come. Till all be fulfilled.
Till all be fulfilled. And guess what? All ain't fulfilled. Because guess what? Heaven and earth still here.
Right.
Still got stars. Still got suns and moons. Still got earthuses. I said it like that on purpose.
Yeah.
We still got the earth. You know what I'm saying? It's still here. Read on.
Come. Verse 19. Whosoever.
Oh, that's the Christian favorite word, ain't it? Whosoever. Well, let's see about this whosoever. Read on.
Therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
Whoa. Bacon would be a least commandment. You understand? Let's say shape ups. Shape ups. Ooh, that's a tiny one.
Small one.
That's an itty bitty one. Big for some folks. That's an itty bitty one. It ain't quite as devastating as sleeping with your brother's wife.
Good night.
You understand? Being a homosexual. You understand? But read it again.
Come.
But
Matthew chapter 5 verse 19.
not just a whosoever.
Oh, slide, sir. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so.
Oh, wait a minute. So who is that talking about?
We.
Who is that talking about? What?
Slide, sir. The Christian pastors.
The Christian pastor, Bishop Eddie Long. Bishop Eddie Longstroke. You understand? Paying for all the colleges. You understand? Creflo Dollar. Who else? T.D. Jakes. John Gray. Joel Osteen. Man, Joel Osteen. You know who Joel Osteen remind me of? Listen, I like comic book movies, right? I love comic book movies. If I could pick one person that I think would be the perfect person to play the Joker, it'd be Joel Osteen. He looked just like the Joker, man.
Hey, come
He look like classic Joker, yeah.
He looked like the Joker. There ain't no better Joker on the planet than Joel. He just looked like he just need to go ahead and just be like, you know what? I'm gonna retire from being a pastor, and I'm gonna take my talents to DC Comics and be the Joker. He just need to go ahead and do it. He looked just like the Joker. So this is talking about your Christian pastors.
Right.
Because guess what? They eating the pork and the shrimp, the crab and the lobster. They molesting your kids.
Damn.
They sleeping with their church members' wives.
Damn right.
They molesting their own kids. Eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, worshiping other guys, and guess what else they do? They teach you to do it too. They teach you that it's okay. Guess what? What's that other brother's name? The choir director dude. The one.
Kurt Franklin.
Kurt Stanklin. I seen this man on the cover of something. Had a pink background, pink lipstick, and a pink little shirt that was like it was stretched at the collar. I was like, what in the hell is wrong with Kurt Franklin? Go ahead, Al.
It's like I seen a video with Kurt Franklin getting smashed on by some devil in the scriptures.
I saw. I know exactly
For
what
real?
you're talking about. Yes, sir.
What?
Yes, sir. I can't remember exactly what it was. I know exactly which video you was talking about too.
I
He
need
kept inviting them to come to the church so they could talk about it more. But he was just getting obliterated on camera by
Good
some
gracious.
devil.
Man, oh man. You wanna know
I
why?
mean, this is, you gotta imagine, this is a Christian battling another Christian,
Right.
but you getting like just destroyed, utterly destroyed in your own version of Christianity.
Good
Right.
night.
That's how terrible Christianity is.
Damn. I mean, you
The
get
doctrine.
you lying, and you get beat up with more lies. He a liar. He a better liar than you.
Oh man.
Damn. And then that's how you know the Lord ain't with you. You understand? That's like that. The brother from GOCC.
Oh,
When he just got sliced and diced.
Oh.
And here's the crazy, I watched it live when it happened.
Oh, that's with the devil when they was all.
Yeah. I was like, oh, hang up the phone.
Mr. White.
Hey, I was like, disconnect. I was trying to talk to him through my phone. Like, hang up the phone, pull the internet cable. You need to get up out of there, retreat, abort mission. But he did not. He stood there and just took it.
Wasn't that debating the Hebrew language? Or?
They was debating. They was debating a lot.
What was the one that he was specifically getting crushed on?
That the Lord's name was Yahweh.
Yeah, that it was the.
I mean, Ahia.
Right, exactly.
Right. Saying that the most, and here's what blows my mind, is that you still got fake Israelites still running around saying Ahia after that video came out. Like, come on now. Like General Yohannes crushed that in like 5 seconds. You understand? I remember it because I went and bought the book he used to reference it. I was like, good night. You understand? 5 seconds General Yohannes crushed it. And he up there just getting, and in one of his sources, he said, so you're saying that the word Yahweh was, well, he used the word Yahweh. He says, so you're saying that the word Yahweh was injected by the Nazarenes. He's like, yes. He says, and your source for that is a book about the Illuminati. I was like, oh.
Because I'm so bad, it's just horrific.
Hey, go ahead.
The devil said, he said, no, you're just not gonna get away with it like that. Damn, like 2 minutes ago.
It's a lot.
It's back on now.
We good? Hey, everybody, we got sound?
You just gotta be careful. I think it must be a short in that plug right there.
We might need to invest in one of them old microphones, the boom mics.
Boom, yeah.
Nah,
Like the one on the don't the generals got ain't that on the show? Did they have one on the show like that? It's kind of like a boom.
I don't know.
Was that on Cross the Line? Am I thinking?
I think that's crossing line.
Cross the Line, yeah, they got it on the boom.
Yeah, we might need to invest in one of them.
And put it on there.
Clip it right on the
Get
end.
it right out of the way so it's right there on the table. Then you can kind of move it around.
Move it around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, so everything good with the sound, everybody?
Come on, concert.
One day we're gonna have this thing set up like the Charlemagne show, like Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah. All right, everything good? Facebook, YouTube, everything? All right, Most High in Christ. They missed all them good jokes.
Good night.
Ain't no sweat. All right, so where we at? Go ahead and read on.
Wakana. Book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach man so.
So this is talking about your Christian pastor.
Read.
You understand? It's talking about your pastor, man, your realm. You understand? Your realm, your deacons. You understand? I'm glad that we ain't got no rank called deacon in the.
Good night.
You understand? I would not want to be no deacon. It just don't sound right. Sir, I don't want to be no deacon. Read it good,
Wakana, sir. And shall teach man so.
So guess what? Your Christian pastor, your pork chop, deep frying, homosexual, child molesting, tithe taking, alligator shoe wearing Christian pastor who commits all these abominations before the Lord and teaches you that, guess what? God's laws are done away with so you can do the same. Guess what? Guess what the Bible says about that type of person? You know what I mean? You think he's all holy and blessed and anointed. They say he's anointed. They say these pastors. Oh, that brother, that's so anointed. Yeah, it just I used to go to church and just be like, this is the dumbest. Even in the world, I used to think church was dumb.
Right.
Like, did you go to church of Barnes? You ain't gotta admit it.
Slice.
You slipped off once or twice.
Oh, kind.
I used to go to church. I used to be in there like, this is the stupidest thing I ever heard. Like, go ahead.
My pastor was most definitely a homosexual.
Good. I think all them pastors is homosexuals. You understand? I mean, just be honest, because they get up there and they talk like homosexuals, You understand? I had a Christian pastor tell me one time he go get pedicures. I just left the boxing gym like, you get what, sir? Go ahead then. You go ahead. I'm just gonna go hang out with the roughnecks. Cause obviously you too delicate to be around cats like us. Go ahead, read on.
Come with kind. And she'll teach men so.
So he goes around and teaches all his congregation that God's laws are done away. They look at it as oppression. It's oppression to a Christian pastor to not be able to eat that bacon. Well, guess what? It used to be oppression for us to eat pork.
Right.
You understand? It was one point in time where black people had their teeth knocked out and had swine shoved down our throats on the slave trade.
Right.
During the slave trade. Though, if you've never been to the Blacks and Wax Museum, I seen it as a child. And it's forever burned in my head. You know how as a child you might see something and it look way more realistic to you as a child than it do as an adult. But to me, it looked like I was there with them. You understand? In the ship watching it go down. You understand? But they used to knock our teeth out our mouth. Shove these big old combs in our mouth. And used to shove pig fat and molasses down our throats in the slave ships.
Like if I could.
Go ahead, Anwar.
That same, I don't know if you ever seen the movie Birth of a Nation, but there's a scene where they did the same thing because those slaves were so poorly mistreated and they were unhealthy and just the masters just wasn't the poor devils that had slaves wasn't treating their slaves right, wasn't taking care of their health. So them slaves was in so much pain and so unhealthy that they just had rather die than to just be continue living. So they would just stop eating, wouldn't eat nothing. So in order to make them eat, in order to force them to eat, the master would go and take the down, do what he just said, knock their teeth out and force the food out of their mouth. And there's a scene in Birth of a Nation where he did that.
Good night.
And it was just horrific, man.
Man, oh man. Happy shall he be when he knocked their teeth out their mouth and shoved that lamb fat and molasses down their throats.
Right.
You understand? I'm trying to tell you, man. Don't try to starve yourself on my plantation.
Damn.
I'm gonna take a page.
Oatmeal or something. They get something disgusting.
Oh yeah.
But lawful.
Lamb.
Right.
I don't think we can do that. That might. Yeah, I don't know. You had to get counsel on that. Shoot, I'm gonna feed mine chicken feathers and sawdust mixed with water and all stirred up together with some, something awful. Chicken beaks, chicken eyes. Get them chicken eye and beak soup. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to come up with something that just tastes like glue. They give you all the nutrients that you need in the human body. All the perfect amount of nutrients in this. I want it to be gray. Look like I want it to look like the silicone that you put on the bathtub. I want it to look like that. Squeeze it out of a tube just like it. You understand? I want that.
You with some herbs.
Let me catch you with some salt and pepper. Let me catch. Well, they don't use salt and pepper no way.
Good.
It's not your part, sir. He said, damn right.
I'm trying to tell you, then don't commit no crimes in my plantation.
We
Throw y'all all in a cage together, men, women, and children. Feed y'all once a day. And every Friday, I'm going to throw a big old steak in there. Just throw it on the ground, see what happens. There'll be 30 devils in that cage. I'm going to throw one steak, one freshly cooked, well-seasoned steak in there. Let's see what happens. Ooh-wee. There's going to be some devastating things going on in that. You're going to see babies get thrown up against the...
Salagi, sir. Happy shit out of me.
Hey, man, I bet that's gonna be crazy. So you feed them once a day, feed them that mush once a day. I'm trying to tell you, it's gonna be Mush City on my plantation. You know what I mean? That's what we're gonna call it too. We're gonna call it Mush. You bet not ask for no hot sauce either. And your water gonna be dirty. It's gonna be brown. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be brown.
That Flint, Michigan water.
You need that Flint water. You know what I mean? Shoot, I'm gonna let you get the leftovers after my animals eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give you their water after they done drinking it all. Then just let them drink from one big old trough, and whatever's left, just give it to them with all the horse spit, dog spit. You know what I mean? All of that. Hell, they might not even mind that. You know what I mean? Read on out.
Come. He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
He shall be called what?
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Creflo Dollar shall be called what?
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
TD Jakes is what?
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Not Joel Osteen.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Not my pastor.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
Martin Luther King.
He shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
You understand? This is the Bible. This is the Bible, man. And guess what? Your Christian pastor, listen, man. Martin Luther King, it was a sin for us to join these other nations.
That's right.
Martin Luther King was a sinner because he joined with these other nations.
That's right.
And he taught men to join with these other nations.
Damn right.
And now you see the devastating effect of listening to Salakia. I almost dropped the F-bomb, not the F-U-C-K word, but the bundle of sticks. I almost dropped the, you know what I mean, word. But that sodomite, you understand? He taught black people to join our oppressors. And now we see the aftermath of what happened when we joined our oppressor.
That's right.
You understand? And guess what? For that, Martin Luther King shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
Creflo Dollar shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
TD Jakes, least in the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
You understand? When Howard shall come back in them ships, man, I bet you TD Jakes gonna be first in line. First in line. Talking about, that ain't my Jesus. Yeah, so gonna walk right past him. like, who is this nigga? Who is this? I mean, who mans is this? Where your beard at?
What the hell is that?
Who pants is those? Are those your pants or your girl pants? You understand?
Where your beard at?
Where your beard at? Hey. Man, it's gonna be a hell of a day. TD Jakes, Creflo gonna be first in line. Have us block roped off in the section for the niggas who ain't got no money.
Right.
You understand? Your house shot gonna pull up in our section. You understand? And all these Christian pastors gonna be counted least in the kingdom of heaven, man. You understand? So let me ask you a question, man. Is that what you want? Is that what you want to do? Because we already least in the kingdom of the white man.
Right.
We least here. Are we not? Out of line, correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
We least in the kingdom of America. We ain't got no land to fall back. We don't have no ambassador for our nation. Who is it? Yahweh Shah is our ambassador. Yahweh Shah is our king. Yahweh Shah is the one that's going to speak on our behalf. And guess what? He's going to have 200 million angels with him. And he's going to fly in ships far more advanced than anything that these devils have ever even thought about.
Right.
It's like if I could, and until the return of Christ, Commander General Yohana is our ambassador on this earth.
Damn right. Commander General Yohana. Get Commander General Yohana. What Commander General Yohana has done on this earth is legendary.
Damn right.
You understand? That brother there needs a movie written about him.
Damn right.
You understand? Like straight up and down. Like that right there, even if you don't even believe in Hebrew Israelites, even if you think what we teach is just asinine and wrong, that what that brother did is legendary.
Damn right.
You understand? To sit and watch so many people fall off. I say Commander Junior Hunter's a better man than me because if I was in that position, I fear that I would have failed. You understand? I fear that I would have failed. I fear that I wouldn't have been strong enough to do it. And because of that, I'm thankful for Commander Junior Hunter being that example on this earth.
Damn
You
right.
understand? Being that example, because the fact that he did that, you understand? And then another thing that Commander Junior Hunter said that always stuck with me was he said I did not leave the truth, and I could not leave the truth, not for my sake, but for the sake of all the brothers that'll be destroyed because of it. You understand? Junior Hunter said that, and I never forget them words. You understand? Because that is leadership.
Damn right.
You understand? Telling you that it's okay to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and die of diabetes and molest your kids and all this and that. That is not good leadership,
Damn right.
You understand? That's terrible leadership. And Yahushua saying it out his own mouth. Whosoever shall break one of the least commandments and teach men so. And guess what? Getting shape-ups is a commandment. It's a sin. That's one of the least commandments. And here's the thing, you got to pay money to do that.
That's right.
You got to go pay somebody. And you know what's crazy? I never realized how homosexual getting a haircut was. Going to the barbershop. I never realized how homosexual it was until I started getting my hair braided.
That's right.
You understand? And it's like, I'd much rather have a woman hands all in my hair, playing with my hair, pulling my hair, tying my hair up.
So like it, to be able to sit between them thighs.
Them thighs,
That
that warm thigh. You understand? Get your hair twisted up, braided up. You understand? Locked up. Then have some brother rubbing all on your face, turning you this way, nuts sitting on your forearm, and you just sitting there like, hey, excuse me, can you please take about three inches back, please, sir? You understand? And it's like, it almost make you look at brothers who stay with the fresh shape up.
Yeah.
It make a brother make me look at him like, boy, you got a little sweetness in you there, boy. You understand? I'm talking. You understand? Brothers like to go in there and have them nuts sitting on their arm while they getting trimmed up. They get a little trim, like they say. Like, how brothers say they're gonna get a little trim. Man, they gonna be with a woman.
Getting trimmed up, yeah.
Now I get it. Now I understand. You understand? directly to YouTube with it.
It's still branded.
Huh?
Go ahead. No, you can back on.
What was you saying?
You're back on now.
Oh, so everybody can hear us now. We can hear us typing one. And we should be good now because I just had to adjust this cable right. It ain't have enough slack in it. We should be too wild.
Is Best Buy still open?
so like, what is that?
Is Best Buy still open?
Yeah. Because the one in Anderson, they was
What
outside
time
of
do they
it.
close?
Ooh. They probably closed a little earlier. A lot of them places been closing a little bit earlier. Nah, it's too wild. It's too wild. It's just
Thomas Brown said, he said, Salaki, I believe y'all be leaving us out on the jokes.
Everything be quiet. All you can see is this way.
oh man. And these are good ones too.
It's the second time, might have won.
It's like the third time, man.
Oh, Salaki.
Salaki, Thomas, and Salaki, everybody. You know, we didn't mean to be leaving y'all out the jokes.
We missing out on all the views.
Yeah, Salaki. Go ahead and like the video. You know, give us some likes. You know, I think we got 0 likes. Give us some likes, and we'll keep the jokes coming. All right, so Salaki, where's we at?
Salaki, so we were at Matthew chapter 5, verse 19.
Right. Yeah, we read. Okay, so read that part again with the whosoever.
The book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach man so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Read that part again.
So, but whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Says whosoever shall do them and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
Now, is that talking about your Christian pastor?
My answer.
So, why are we still in the church? Why are we still going to Christian church if the ones who going to be called great in the kingdom of heaven is the ones who teach the commandments of God,
right,
and keep the commandments of God? You understand? So your Christian pastor ain't even great in the kingdom of heaven. So what make you think he's anointed?
Right.
Who he anointed by? You understand? Go ahead, Op.
It's like, sir, if I can, these Christian pastors are anointed. Why are they dying 3 at a time every week?
I didn't know about that. Bring that up.
I did an article yesterday that I pulled up. Mm-hmm. They had 3 different Christian pastors. They had 2 die, and then they had another one die who was a father at a Catholic church. So then last week they had another pastor named Gerald Glenn, Pastor Gerald Glenn, who invited over 185 people to his church. Even though he knew that they had the CDC, which is the coronavirus, where they was telling people not to come into the churches, he still had 185 people coming to the church. And he said, I'm not afraid of the coronavirus. I'm not afraid to die. And he died.
He wasn't even talking.
He stood up on that pulpit, and he probably had the Jesus voice, the God. You know, go ahead out.
Like I said, he said, I am not afraid to die. And he died. And the other pastor, another pastor from Mississippi, he had attended a funeral where it was over 300 people that attended the funeral. And they said that he died from the coronavirus because he attended the funeral. And they said with all 300 people coming, they said they know for sure that majority of them people that came to the funeral are infected with the coronavirus. So like, if I can,
What?
it's safe to say that the Christian church has helped spread the coronavirus.
So like if I could add on to that, that's just like General Muhammad said in class one day. He said, if you wonder why people are getting the coronavirus, it's up in them filthy Christian churches, man.
Damn right.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, you wondering why people catching any goddamn viruses in their Christian church.
True.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's how AIDS spread.
I remember my first time going to Catholic church. I grew up in the Catholic church. Listen now, this is what always disturbed me about the Catholic church. It's people that walk up there. Listen, it's grown men, black men, white men, Chinese men. It is grown men that stand in line with their hands like this. Stand in lines with their hands like this. And when they get up to the priest, they get down on their knees and stick their tongue out. And the priest set a little cracker on it.
Salagis here again. So the cracker put a cracker on the
Cracker put a cracker on his tongue.
Good.
Yeah. Look, y'all ever seen that?
Yeah, I seen it.
Man, I seen that and I used to be like, I never ever in my life, you put my shit in my hand, motherfucker. It's like, put it right there. Give me, I can eat it myself. You ain't gotta feed me, nigga. Go ahead.
So I seen that video of somebody recording in the Catholic church, and I seen the pastor like literally take the cracker and put it on their tongue, and he pushed it down with the finger, and then went to the next person and did the same thing with that finger, pushed it down on their tongue. I was like, good night.
Yeah, I seen one similar.
Oh, that just made me about to throw up.
I seen one similar, and the priest was doing it to like every other, like the same as what he was describing, right? But when he got to the black person,
Oh, you see that?
he put it
Give me your hand, nigga.
Like it ain't already disgusting that you put your finger down people's throats, you know, shooting them crackers in their mouths, but then you gonna treat the nigga like he's the most disgusting, vile thing ever.
Good night.
Them crackers ain't got no taste. I ain't gonna lie. One day I used to be an altar boy. For Lakia. I remember one time I ain't never getting molested.
Most High Christ. Because it would have been a miracle that she made it in school. It would have been one hell of a miracle.
Hey, I was playing football. I was a little. I used to fall asleep on the pulpit. Like I used to be altar boy in front of the whole church. Gone, knocked out, snoring. My grandma used to be wanting to hit me with her purse from the back. But I remember one time, man, that's how I know, like, that Christian spirit, that Catholic spirit was not in me. Cause at the church, if I was hungry, I used to be eating them crackers like, I know these supposed to be holy pieces of bread, but right now they just a little snack to me. You know what I mean? But they ain't have no flavor, no nothing. But these grown men would walk down these aisles, and the Christian priest would stick the cracker right on their tongue. They would get on their knees and stick their tongue out in front of the priest. And the priest would just delicately lay the cracker right on his tongue. Then he'd get up and drink a sip of wine out of the same cup that every single person in the church just drank out of. Did y'all know that? In the Catholic Church, right? They had this one little cup, like say this one cup, right? Then they got this little dry little napkin, like that's supposed to be sanitary. One person sip out the cup, they wipe the cup, and then the next person walk up, and then they sip out the same cup, and they just wipe it, and then the next person walk up. You'll have 150 people drink out the same cup.
Corona.
Listen, man. I'm surprised botulism ain't broke out in the Catholic Church. You understand? Because that right there is disgusting. Huh? You understand? But that's what's going on, man. That's and you know, that's why like General Muhammad said, the Christian church is what's spreading this coronavirus.
Right.
You understand? These dumb, stupid Christians talking about, I ain't scared of the coronavirus. Well, go catch it then. You understand? And here's the thing, man. You don't want to tempt the Most High, man. You understand? You don't want to tempt the Lord like that when you know you just a wicked cretin. You know what I mean? You out here molesting kids, embezzling money, oppressing black people, and then you gonna sit there and stand boldly talking about you ain't scared of the coronavirus. When you a murderer. You done cause more black death of black men than anything. You understand? You know how many black men are dead right now because they went to go rob somebody to pay their child support? And the person that they robbed had a bigger gun and was a lot more on point than they was. You understand? You know how many brothers is in prison right now for committing crimes to pay child support for a baby that ain't even theirs?
Good night.
And guess why these sisters is putting these men on child support? Because they listen to these Christian pastors. They don't have nobody else to lean on but Uncle Sam. The Christian pastor robbing them. The streets robbing them. Their job robbing them. Everybody is out there robbing black women. The only one giving her a crumb is the white man. You understand? Everybody out here robbing black women. You understand? And what the black woman does in return is she turns around and robs the black man. And she robs him of his life. Walter Scott was robbed of his life. Walter Scott got gunned down by the cops because he had a warrant for his arrest for unpaid child support.
Good night.
You understand? I tell people all the time, sisters only. If a sister called me and tell me she about to put her baby daddy on child support, I'm gonna make her feel like a disgusting, vile creature.
Damn right.
And I'm like, well, how you gonna explain it to your kids when your baby daddy get gunned down by the cops because you put him on child support? And you know what they say? Oftentimes they say, well, he should have did what he's supposed to do. He should have. The only thing he should have done, according to you, was answer your phone and not get another woman. That's what it sounds like you saying he's supposed to do. What that got to do with him showing up with diapers tomorrow?
Damn right.
What that got to do with him taking his baby to the park this weekend? What they got to do with that? You understand? You want to go involve the devil the Bible speak of. You understand? And sign a deal with the devil that leads into the death of the father of your children. And then guess what? The scriptures say, how can you enter into a strong man's house unless you first bind the strong man? Well, guess what? How did the serpent enter into Adam's house?
Damn right.
How did he do it?
Do that one.
Go ahead.
It's like through the woman.
Through the woman. You understand? Did that through the woman, man. You understand? And guess what? UPK, we gonna fix all that.
Damn right.
We gonna fix all that, and we gonna fix these sisters. You understand? And guess what? We gonna fix these brothers. We gonna go into these prisons and fix brothers. You understand? Go ahead,
And Slicer, if I can, people love to say that they selling their soul out to the Illuminati, but when the sisters go down there and sell that man out to our so-called oppressors, it's no different.
It's no different. Who he work for? If the Illuminati is real and they run the world, then who he work for?
Right.
Don't he work for the Illuminati?
Right.
Didn't you just sell your soul to the Illuminati? You just sacrificed your baby daddy for a couple $100. That's a blood sacrifice. Go ahead.
It's like sir, Walter Scott was a blood
Walter sacrifice was a blood. I said something like that. Walter sacrifice. Walter Scott was a blood sacrifice to the Illuminati For what? A couple $100. Yeah, y'all talking about rappers who selling they sold for a couple $1 million. Hell, you sold your baby daddy and had him murdered by the greatest hunter of men on the planet for a couple dollars. A couple dollars.
Ain't no conspiracy theory about that.
Ain't no conspiracy theories about that. That's DSS.
Yeah, right.
That's the Department of Social Services. You understand? That's what that is. But they don't think about that. They don't think about how they going into the abortion clinic aborting their babies.
Sheesh, good night.
Guess what? All these people talk about this shield right here, talk about it's a star of Molech. Let me tell you something about Molech. Right? First of all, Molech is a bull. He's a big bull statue.
That's right.
And in that statue, it was a hollow statue that had little cubby holes built in his belly there.
That's right.
And what they used to do is they used to start a fire up on the bottom of that statue. And that fire would burn all throughout the inside of that statue. And you know what they used to do? People used to take their infant babies and put them in these little cubby holes to burn their babies alive and sacrifice their children for good fortune. Guess what? Is that any different than you aborting your child to try to make sure you have a better life?
Right.
Is that any different than you aborting your child because you feel like you can't afford it?
Right.
It's going to be too much of a burden. You're trying to have a better life. You think it's going to destroy your life. It's no different now.
Right.
The star of Molech, you worrying about us wearing the shield of David while you taking your babies and chopping them up into pieces.
That's right.
You understand? Give a damn about somebody coming up to me talking about this shield, man. Yeah, I got it on. I got it on both shoulders.
Right.
Got a necklace with it on it too. And a ring and a couple rings. Got some earrings too. Guess what? It's on the top of my headpiece.
Damn right.
You understand? It's on this Torah scroll I made. All over the Torah scroll, as a matter of fact.
Damn right.
You understand? So the hell with your superstitious, you looking at us like we the goddamn enemy when you the goddamn enemy.
Damn right.
We trying to save your child and you trying to murder your child.
Right.
And guess what? That is unlawful. That is a sin according to the Most High.
Yeah,
but
right.
guess what? You wouldn't know no better because you're too busy up in that Christian church twerking and hee-hee-hawing and listen to somebody talk about shashkala, bashka, fashkala, shit about a Honda.
Damn right.
You understand? You listening to all this mumbo jumbo and they up there entertaining you and blowing smoke up your behind. Meanwhile, we telling you the goddamn truth, trying to save a life, and you look at us like we the enemy.
Damn right.
The white man should know what the Bible speak out.
Damn right.
And
with that,
damn right, go ahead. Damn right. It's like if I could, the shield of David ain't aborting children.
trying to make babies, not kill babies.
Damn right.
It's like I have yet to see somebody at the abortion clinic holding up.
Yeah, I ain't seen it. It ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the star of Molech. They retarded. That's whoever say that is retarded.
Right.
They don't know who Molech is. Don't know how you worship Molech. Don't know what Molech look like. Guess what? The closest thing to Molech is really the Baphomet.
Damn right.
That's really the closest thing today that even relates to Molech. Or the abortion clinic. The abortion clinic is Molech, in my opinion.
And then if I could, use some damn common sense. We know that a star is a burning ball of gas.
Right.
I mean, that's it. Burning ball of gas.
You know what I mean? And here's the deal, right? People in the ISBK know that I'm a graphic designer. I design logos and things like that. You know, it's something I do is you know, to help get the school out there and things like that. Now, as a graphic designer, I often it really hit me when it was first broke down to me. I knew it was the truth because I'm a graphic designer and I design logos and things like that. if King David himself, it was back in the day when King David was on this earth, and King David walked up to me and said, "Not the Zagabar, you make good signets, brother. I need you to make the best signets in all the land. I need you to put me together a signet for my name." And he was to tell me his name. That's what I would have came up with. This is what I would have came up with. Because personally, I think this is the best logo that has ever been made on the face of this planet.
Damn right.
Because first of all, if you know what David's name is, it's Da-Wa-Da. You understand? Each one of these triangles that you see, there ain't no arrow pointing up and arrow pointing down. That's somebody who don't know nothing about what they talking about.
Right.
You know, this ain't no, I don't know what the hell they be saying. But I'm going to tell you what. If you know anything about ancient Hebrew, Da is a triangle. There's two Das in Da-Wa-Da's name. And the Wa grammatically joins two letters together.
Damn right.
So what you're looking at is two Das joined together. That's what you're looking at. So as a graphic designer, if King David was to tell me to make a signet of his name, that's exactly what I would have came up with.
Damn right.
I wouldn't have been. There wouldn't have been any other way to do it than that.
Damn right.
You understand? I mean, I probably had all types of other little designs, but this would have been the one. This is perfect. You understand? Because that right there, you look at that, and it is two Das joined together. That, and you look at that, it looks like Da-Wa-Da.
Damn right.
That's what it is. That is his signet. And guess what? If you mad at this, then you need to burn your driver's license.
Right.
Because guess what? You have a signet on your driver's license. The state that you live in has a signet.
That's right.
The city that you live in has a signet. And guess what? You signed it at the bottom. That is your signet. You understand? So if this is unlawful, your driver's license is unlawful. You understand? Your checkbook is unlawful.
Damn right. Damn
Just
right.
being factual. You understand? I know we done ran close on the time. Class is up. We got any questions? Any quick questions in the chat before we go in and cut it?
Live hot, man.
All right, with that, we're going to pass the class off to Preaching Officer Bon Kara.
What's that first? Stand up in front of the camera.
Come. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 through 21. Malachi 3, verse 18 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations, which is the Passover, which is the Passover.
I just had one of the trucks.
Remind Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, or headband. And with that, shalom.